biggest anxieties, it's a bit of a tough one, but I'd have to say mainly just hoping that I don't get lost. It's a bit tricky trying to understand what exactly that I want to do when I'm advancing into my professional career, and it's just a bit scary. That's where the anxiety comes from, but mainly just trying to figure out where I want to go, and if I manage to figure out what I want to do, if I will be able to get to the point of that I'm actually able to do that. So it's just a bit of a back and forth.
So I'd say finding a job, I guess, is a big thing. Using all my talents and what I've learned in college and applying that to whatever job I have, and just finding a job in general, just like applying through applications and doing cover letters and things like that.
I would say just emerging into the adult and professional world is definitely, it's something that, definitely triggers some anxiety with me because, there's just so many college students graduating every single year all the time, and just competing for the same positions and trying to set yourself apart from the competition essentially is definitely a challenge.
Well, I'm applying and interviewing for jobs right now, so that's kind of what's going on. I have an interview in 2 weeks, so that's kind of like the most of my anxiety. And I think hearing other people when they're like, oh, I just got a job, or I just like killed that interview, I'm like, okay, great. I haven't.
I think it would be the amount of other kids coming out as well. I just feel like there's so many of us coming out kind of in the same boat where we have the same skills, the same experience. It's really unnerving going against so many other kids for the same jobs.
Really just getting a job, because I feel like once I get a job, things will work out, but just the application and just interview process, probably the biggest stressors.
I'd really like to find a job that I like, and I don't know really how to go about that. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna like the job that I end up getting.
Well, finding a job right away coming out of college. I know I probably won't initially, knowing that I kind of transferred from Stanford campus, and it kind of like held me back when it comes to my whole transfer to this campus. I didn't really start off with a good foundation there, and then coming here, I felt like everyone was smarter than me. Everyone was kind of like on a different level, and like I just feel like going out there and not being prepared and having the stuff that I need to kind of feel, I guess you could say, secure. I feel like that brings a lot of anxiety for me.
I fear greatly in my own capabilities. I fear my ability to give the quality of work that I'm not at that level yet, that a lot of professionals are looking for. And perhaps at the same time, it's my level of confidence I fear of whether or not that will betray me. So not only finding a job, but finding a job that I will qualify for and that I will really enjoy. Because as I've mentioned, my work-life balance has been very much skewed. And I will work until I am mentally and physically sick to try and give someone the best that I can give them. But I don't want that to be my life. I want to enter the professional world and create wonderful things and imaginative things. And I want to have joy in doing it. But it's hard to be able to, at least from where I'm standing now, to find a job that allows that creative expression, that allows for me to feel like I'm giving it my all without it taking my all and not giving something back.
Definitely jobs is finding like a career path. I'm a senior, but I have another semester after this year before I graduate. So probably being worried about not taking advantage of all the opportunities that I could have taken advantage of, and being worried, I guess, about the time constraint. Like if you don't take advantage of certain opportunities right when they happen, then you're gonna miss that, instead of being like, oh, like this doesn't work with your schedule, so we're gonna try and like help you find other opportunities that will still like get you where you want to be, I guess.
Just not being prepared, like not knowing if I'm learning what I need to know when I graduate, or like, yeah, just not being prepared, like not being helpful to the company that hires me, or even getting hired at a company once I graduate.
Yeah, money's a big thing. Personally, I never learned how to do taxes or to make a budget or deal with money at all. So, you know, it's difficult to go about daily life knowing exactly like how to spend money properly. You know, considering what, you know, it's hard to consider what is in fact a good use of my funds and what is just a total waste of money. You know, spending that money on food, investing in different ways, whether that's in physical products or something like stocks, you know, that is not easy as a college student.
I would say just trying to find my place overall, because when you've been so used to one particular area for such a long time, you get into a routine, you get into a rhythm, you know, okay, I have this class on this day, I'm going to see this friend on that day for dinner, and then trying to be, and then being taken out of that and being placed into a new area with no concept of what's going to happen and what you're going to do, I think that scares me a little bit. And then I would say just the fear of failure, because you're always expected to be the best version of yourself that you can be, and you know, unfortunately, some days you're not going to hit that mark. Some days you just don't have the energy for it, or a task might be too large to tackle in a day. So those would be probably my biggest concerns.
Probably lack of preparation. I mean, you don't really prepare you for after college. It's just kind of like you got your degree and you're gone. They don't really help you transition, I guess.
Deadlines are definitely big stressors. Deadlines and expectations are also big stressors. Yeah, I know a lot of people who have a hard time living up to the expectations that people set for them.
How you're gonna make ends meet, how you're gonna survive day to day outside of college, how is your degree gonna fare up according to industry standards, etc.
Yeah, I'm afraid that I won't do enough or haven't done enough to get where I want to go. I mean, I don't think for me, I don't have to be like uber, like rich or successful or famous. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't like those things. That'd be great. But for me, I just want to be able to like kind of live comfortably, doing the type of work that I love, the type of stuff that I'm hopefully going to graduate knowing how to do. But I guess my biggest like anxiety and fear and trigger with all that is I'm afraid that like even, you know, with all my classes, all the stuff I do outside, that just however much I apply or try different things, that it just won't be enough, that whatever I do, it might not work, and that keeps me up at night.
Sometimes I'm scared I'm not gonna find a job. So I actually tried to like start planning for it by like making a list of like a ton of companies, so I'll have like a better option, like a better chance of getting one. But I feel like sometimes they don't really prepare you to like make the portfolio or like do a job search sometimes. So I feel like that's kind of up in the air, and sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I'll get the one I want. So
reality hitting. So everything is kind of structured now. We know what we're doing. Like at a certain point, you know what you're doing, and you're like, all right, I have to go to work or I have to study. But like when you graduate, you kind of just have to figure everything out on your own, and there's no like specific structure that comes with your life. You're kind of like let go, and you're free, and you go out into the world, and everything is up to you.
I'd say just the thought of coming out, and I've always been a person who's just independent already, but just fully being on my own, and you know, understanding that now it's no classes, I'm not told what to do, you know, I'm just going to work. It's just all gonna just probably come down on me, and just gonna be a big thing, especially with, you know, that 6-month grace period that you have to, before you have to start paying back those loans.
I'm scared that I won't get a job that is like using my skills to their full extent. Like I'll end up having to take a job that I'm qualified for, but isn't exactly what I want to be doing. I'm nervous about getting a job at all. I'm nervous about having to move away. And having to completely support myself and be independent. I wouldn't say I'm a very independent person.
I think one of my biggest stressors is procrastination. Like a lot of the things that causes me anxiety is procrastination. I put work off a lot, but I think that when you get into the professional arena, when it comes to jobs and stuff like that, that there's not a lot of room for procrastination and stuff like that.